Numbers tell a story. 82, 46, 24/15. They tell a story about the challenges that customers like you face in maximizing efficiency. The numbers themselves are about rental equipment, but they affect so much more across an entire organization. 82. According to survey results from Texas A&M University, 82% of industrial and commercial companies acknowledge that an increase in rental utilization would result in an increase in operational ROI. In that same survey, 46% of the decision makers with the same companies acknowledged they don't even track utilization. (24/15). Based on data that United Rentals has tracked over the past several years, 24% of equipment is on rent past the original estimated return date, and the duration of those overdue rentals averages 15 days. Here's another way to look at it. Every project that a company in this industry undertakes always begins with a plan. You put a lot of effort into developing the plan, from permitting and forecasting materials to staffing, and also trying to manage those unexpected things that just happen. You might be planning and executing many different projects all at the same time, and you make the best decisions possible with the information and resources that you have available. As the project starts to unfold, you know that there will be things that deviate from the original plan. Unforeseen challenges with labor supply, bad weather, and change orders often occur. As someone responsible for driving efficiency, you certainly hope that the planning and forecasting were good enough to drive success for project completion. But nonetheless, the element of the unknown still remains. Project success depends on many variables. Effective management of equipment affects every other aspect of your project, and customers like you share with us the challenges that their organizations face with their overall equipment rental scenarios. Some of the challenges that I'm referring to would include siloed operations. And as companies grow, different divisions develop different ways of communicating with one another. It's often very difficult to keep them all on the same page. And what happens next is it leads to the various locations and operations developing their own communication process. They develop their own process for communicating with one another, and they develop their own rental process as well. Very inefficient. It means that they're probably going to have to create their own system for their rentals, and then the next thing that takes place is they have to develop their own technology for tracking it. They're doing this while they're juggling multiple vendors and taking care of numerous trades who require the right equipment to be delivered to them at the right time in order for them to do their work. Overall, this is an extremely fragmented and reactive process. And what this fragmented and reactive process does is it limits the productivity and ultimately the success of the project. Challenges with rentals start to occur, and what we find out is that if this will end up where the too much equipment is rented, and the process actually gets worse in the absence of a coordinated strategy. They ended up ordering too much equipment, and it'll stay out on the job site for too long. And it's caused because their program that they're utilizing is far too complex. This fragmented and reactive process really forces the people to struggle to try to keep up with the equipment rentals, and what happens next is it starts to impact the timing on the overall project. And so when the timing is a result of their not having the right equipment when they need it, and it directly decreases their wrench time, and it affects the company's ability to successfully complete the project on time. Next factor is the people. The people, the workers that you have, the most valuable resource, they can't focus on their important priorities. Instead of driving project completion, they start to become distracted trying to get what they need and become frustrated with the overall lack of visibility into what is available. They're forced to be far too reactive. And finally, what these challenges result in is a decrease in the overall profitability for the project. And so often there's no tools to identify and or measure cost savings opportunities, and much bigger than just the cost of the equipment, the rentals and challenges, they'll drive up your overall costs by driving up the time that is associated and the labor across the entire project. These challenges create a downward pull on the economics associated with the entire project. And with the downward pull, their combined influence creates can lengthen the project schedules, putting the entire project and you at risk. This is why companies like yours are choosing to work with United Rentals. At United Rentals, by engaging United Rentals early and often as possible in the early stages of your project, you can create a solid foundation that helps you to drive success. Now, what if you could consistently give your team the tools and the resources that they need to succeed when and where they need them? Companies like yours are partnering with United Rentals because they recognize our significant fleet and footprint throughout North America, and also the fact that our specialty business units such as trench, power HVAC, and tool solutions can further meet the specific project needs that they have. This will enable them to maximize their performance of their crews with the exact equipment and supplies that are needed. Another thing, what if you could enable your people to truly focus on their primary responsibilities? Truly focusing on their primary responsibilities. In order to do this, your team needs greater visibility, and they need better tools to minimize the distractions and the frustrations. Only by working with United Rentals will you have access to our innovative technology like UR data and Total Control that provide proactive notifications that tell you what you want to know about the performance of your rented equipment and your owned equipment both. Your team can also access dedicated resources such as our managed services consultants to drive even greater profitability. And whenever you need to start a new project, your crews will get to work faster with United Rentals with our unique rollout and implementation processes. What if you were also able to provide your crew with the ability to always identify and execute on meaningful cost savings opportunities? United Rentals' superior processes and best practices that include customized scorecards of metrics that you determine for reporting that actually works for you. The United Rentals organization is the leader in technologies that give you powerful visibility into your equipment, assets, and utilization levels so that you can maximize your own fleet before you ever even rent any additional pieces. Companies that work with United Rentals understand that renting equipment is about much more than just the cost of the rental. It's about removing the risk and exposure of a fragmented equipment rental process. And it's about deploying a more streamlined and repeatable process. It's also about instituting a consumption management approach that will enable greater productivity and profitability across your entire company, and about working with a partner to provide you with unparalleled ability to help you avoid the pitfalls of too much, too long, and too complex, so that you can pursue a path that takes you towards reward. And reap the benefits of best-in-class organizations. I'd like to share an example, a true story about a organization that chose to partner with United Rentals to drive cost savings and profitability for their firm. It's about a major oil and gas company. Now, these three numbers that I'm going to put on the board, they tell a story. 100, 56, and 1.8. They tell a story about a major oil and gas company with international reach that has experienced great success by working with United Rentals. These numbers tell the story of what they have achieved to date by partnering together with United Rentals. 100. What 100 represent is there was 100 extra non-necessary pieces of equipment on rent were identified after just 1 quarter. And 56, what happened here is they were able to increase their utilization 56% over industry standards for their business units by identifying and calling off rent the unneeded pieces. $1.8, that's the big one right here. $1.8 million in cost savings were achieved and agreed upon in just 1 quarter. They achieved this